Shalom, shalom. And first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, pushing the work in truth and sincerity. All right. So the name of this one is The Gainsayers Will Be Astonished. Okay. Because you got a lot of, unbelievers. All right. And then you got, borderline, gainsayers. That might be people that's close to you. A lot of them ain't gonna get right until the shit hits the fan, man. Unfortunately, but it speaks to their shame, but also their glory. Okay, because the Lord might have mercy, and they might not believe in you fully. That the Lord sent you, that you're a prophet of the Lord, so on and so forth. But us that's enduring this truth and doing the works, there's a strong possibility that we're part of the house of David. And that's going to be, for those who have doubted or somewhat unbelieve, it's going to be towards their shame, but also their glory. Because the Lord might save them. When shit hits the fan, it might scare Jake straight. And that's how a lot of believers, I say it like this: that's how a lot of Jake, straighten up when things go bad. Unfortunately, but that's how it works. And then you got those who the Lord is just gonna cut off. Maybe they've done some that's unforgivable, and they got a debt to pay with the Lord, man. But by us standing firm in this truth, also is going to convince the gainsayers, man. As the scriptures say in Titus. So for this lesson, I had a few precepts. Lord willing, it's edifying, and Lord willing, it's a valid point, because this was just on my mind the other day, and I thought about the story of Miriam, how she kind of, they were kind of scoffing against Moses, and the Lord judged Miriam on the spot, and afterward, I'm sure that made her a believer, and especially, I think that's going to happen, especially in these times that we're headed into, because a lot of our people, and I'm really talking about those that lean more so with the truth. They don't fully believe because they haven't seen a miracle. They believe, they call on the name of the Lord, and they just believers. A lot of Jake ain't set up to do the work, but they might doubt you in a sense, or I don't want to say it like, I want to say lightly esteem. They don't truly believe you're sent, and that's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to show the world who his elect is. All right, and of course that's going to happen when SHTF. All right, when shit hits the fan. I'll just say it, raw. Okay. So I want to start with this Hebrews 12:1. It says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, all right, let us strip off every weight that slows us down. And this is for you brothers, man, that's pushing, that's doing the work. All right. We have to essentially transcend. And I mean to pretty much rise above the current the how can I say, the worldly way. All right. Okay. We got to rise above that. Okay. It says, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. Okay. Because we all have our, that thing that, we kind of struggle at. All right. That's holding us back. Okay. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. Okay, because we're trying to earn a spot. We're chasing a crown. All right, and of course those that are around you, they don't really believe. And I don't want to say they're just right out scoffers. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying they somewhat believe, but they lightly esteem you. All right, they might lightly esteem the Lord. Who knows? Really, that's probably what it is. They might lightly esteem the Lord. Okay. Verse 2, it says, we do this by keeping our eyes on Yahweh Shai. Oh, this is the NLT, Slakia. This was the NLT. Which that's cool too, but I want to read the KJV. Hebrews 12:1, wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Let us lay aside every weight, all right, that the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. All right, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, all right, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. All right, okay, and so that's what we do. We look towards Yahweh Shai because he overcame the world, and he said that he overcame the world. He conquered the world. Scriptures say that we're more than conquerors as well. All right, and we're a spectacle, as the scriptures say. We're a spectacle unto men for various reasons. One, we're not above our master, which is Yahweh Shai. He went through it. He had to go through the Jake doubting him in his time. Remember what he said: a prophet is without honor in his own country. All right. Here, I might can get that. A prophet is without honor. All right. And you know how Jake is. You got to do flips and tricks for them to believe. All right. But a lot of them are gonna believe when the shit hits the fan. Which might it speaks to their shame, but also their glory. All right. They might have doubted the Lord, and the Lord, show a miracle, which he's gonna do. He's gonna prove a miracle, man. I mean, he's gonna set up a standard against our enemies. All right, and we're gonna be a covering, all right, for our households. We're gonna be a hedge for our households, of protecting, So this is Mark 6:4, all right, and it says a prophet is not without honor, all right, but in his own country, all right, and among his own kin, and in his own house, all right. So you got those that are in your own house who might doubt you. They love you, all right. They might love you, but they don't believe that you're a man of the Lord. They might not believe that you're a prophet. Well, we're here to tell you today that we are those men. Lord willing, we be of that number. And if we are and you have doubted, then that speaks to your shame, but also your glory too. You see? All right. So it says, hold on, yeah, because I'm reading it from the website. Let me get it in the scripture, Mark 6:4, Salaki. Mark 6:4, it says, but Yahweh Shai said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and in his own house. All right. And he could there do no mighty work, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folk and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went round about the villages teaching. We marvel too, because what we see, which could be clear, as the scriptures say, to the righteous all things are pure. Oh, to the pure all things are pure, but to the defiled, some to the extent of that, basically, they ain't gonna believe, man. All right. But we marvel as well, because what we see is so clear and evident, again, that's the Lord covering their eyes or somewhat blinding those individuals. Now we know there's going to be a definitive line of those who scoff. A lot of them, the Lord is going to reject and put the death in, and that's those who are, who are probably not doing the work, And a lot of times, a lot of things that is being done in the spirit, and the Lord doesn't get acknowledgement from it. It's lightly esteemed, But soon, man, the Lord is going to get his just due, and we are too as well, man. Of course, the Lord going to get his glory first, all right? But also the Lord is going to show his glory through us, okay? Isaiah 16:1, all right? Hebrews 12:1, again, let me see. All right. No, Titus 1:9, it says, holding fast the faithful word, as he hath been taught, all right, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers, all right? So holding fast the faithful word. So by us holding onto this truth, all right, okay, that he may be able by sound doctrine, all right, because by wholesome teachings, we're going to be able to exhort and to convince the gainsayers, all right? So there are going to be those who are gainsayers who are going to be convinced, all right, of Yahweh Shai, okay? So the word gainsayers.
Strong's G 483, antilego.
All right, to speak against, gainsay, contradict, all right, to oppose oneself to one, decline to obey him, declare oneself against him, refuse to have anything to do with, all right? And you got those family members. Hell, you even got your woman who might love you, but she might not believe you're a prophet, or she might not believe some of the things you're saying, all right? But again, it's going to speak to their shame, but also their glory, all right? Lord willing, the Lord don't fully cast them off. A lot of Jake that's going to be saved is going to be saved off of your coattail, all right? So here I got one. I want to get the story of Miriam, all right? And I want to use her as the example, okay? So the murmuring, this is Numbers 12:1. It says the murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Numbers 12:1, it says, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. You see? For he had married an Ethiopian woman. All right. And so they pretty much was lightly esteemed him because he had a Cushite, a Cushite woman, And you look now, in these times, Jake will lightly esteem you for having for not lining up your beard. Jake is petty, man. Jake petty as hell, man. Numbers 12:2, it says, and they said, had the Lord Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses? You see? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. And the Lord heard it. It's like it. So they're saying, man, this man ain't, the Lord ain't only dealing with him. The Lord speak to us. They might have visions and that might puff them up, Jake might have a vision. It might be a wife, it might be a cousin who believe, they probably call in the name of Yahweh Shai. They probably don't pray enough. They probably don't, and I'm talking to those that know but don't fully believe, aren't fully convinced. Well, the times that's coming around the corner, they're going to fully convince you. All right? They're going to fully convince you. And I mean, of course, it's just how the Lord has it set up, man, because you're going to have those that believe in the Lord fully, and they ain't going to have no shame, and they're going to have all the confidence in the world when the time comes. Then you got those that was straddling the fence that didn't seize the opportunity, who was lightly esteeming this thing, didn't really see the grandness behind it. All right, because this is a grand work. This is a huge work that's being done in the spirit, man. All right, and we acknowledge it. We acknowledge it every day, and we give praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai every day, man. Every second, every minute of the day, man. Call Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. All right. So it says verse 2 against Locke. It says, and they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he spoken also by us? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. All right. So you think the Lord don't hear the murmurings of Jake now? All right. Numbers 12:3. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. That's like a prerequisite, man. All right. And the Lord Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. You see? And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. All right? My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. All right? It says, with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. So the Lord didn't, he spoke frankly. He spoke directly to Moses. He didn't leave anything mysterious, And when I think about the name, the Lord, giving us the name, I believe he's in the same type of spirit, man. He gave us it outright, where there wouldn't be no doubt, and you got people now doubting the name, So the Lord spoke to him. It says he hear it even apparently, and not in dark speeches. All right. And the similitude of the Lord Yahweh spake shall he behold. All right. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Right. Okay. They're surely not afraid to speak against the leaders of Israel now, which we know, all right, are the apostles, a great millstone, man. All right. Numbers 12:9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. All right. Okay. So she was shocked. You go into shock, seeing your skin go from this complexion to white. You will go in shock. That'll shock you. That will shock you. And it certainly shocked her, you see. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly. Right? Why? Because they lightly esteemed Moses. Why? Because he had a Cushite woman. He had an Ethiopian woman. All right? And they lightly esteem us. Okay? They lightly esteem us. They lightly esteem our sacrifice. All right? They lightly esteem our walk. They lightly esteem our words, which are from the Heavenly Father. All right? And wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. All right? And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. I beg you. All right? And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received again. So the Lord have mercy. All right, she was cast out. I mean, she had to deal with that shame. She had to be set apart. All right, and Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. So they didn't move until she had to fully deal with that cleansing. All right, and afterward, the people removed from Hazaroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. So I just wanted to use Numbers 12 as an example, of them lightly esteeming the Lord's prophet, and they ended up getting judged. Well, that's gonna happen, in the times to come. Maybe the Lord will have mercy, maybe He won't have mercy. It remains to be seen. Okay, but the men of the Lord are gonna be known. It's gonna be known who they are when the turmoil kicks up, when the evils start to spread, when they start to come after us. This is 2 Ezra 6:68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. That's them detaining and enforcing people to get that chip. All right, and they might not force you, but they might say, if you don't take it, you get put to death. All right, it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. Right, so those that go with the status quo, so to speak, those that get that MOTB, they're going to be had in derision. They're going to be laughed at. It says, and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So that's going to happen. All right. They're going to be getting put to death. Okay. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. All right. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen. You see? Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. What? Jacob's trouble. And you got individuals, Israelites, who's saying Jacob's trouble is already past, or that's not for us, or we're not gonna go through that in this time. You out of your mind. Because Israel is about to be tested, and they're about to be tested thoroughly. It says, but I will deliver you from the same, be ye not afraid. So I will deliver you from the same, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your God. All right. And so the elect ain't gonna doubt. All right. They're gonna be guided by the Spirit of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord Yahweh Power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed and it is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. All right. One more precept, then I gotta close. This is Psalms 110 and 3. Psalms 110 and 3. It says, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. All right. So the Lord's people is going to be willing in the day of his wrath, man. All right. Here, Psalms 110 and 3 in the NLT, it says, when you go to war, your people will serve you willingly. You see? All right. You are arrayed in holy garments. All right. So when the Lord lift up a standard, when things start happening, Jake gonna be willing at the drop of a hat, man. It's better to do it now. Okay. Be fully persuaded. All right. And walk that walk now. Okay. All right. But unfortunately, Jake is gonna have to be shaken up to be convinced or to even to be, you know, destroyed. You know, it's up to the Lord. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Lord willing, it made sense. You know, was just pondering on that, man, because you got individuals who, you know, who might be close to you, who lightly esteem you, who lightly esteem this truth. But that's to their shame, but also their glory. You know, because eventually, if they're of the elect, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna be fully persuaded, but they're gonna be persuaded by way of the terrors of the Lord. You know, and also by the example that we leave. All right, our firmness in the faith. You know. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Lord willing, that was edifying. Until next time, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders at great millstones. Salutations to you, Ak, and pushing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.